But clearly, as a football guy, he was sharp. I mean, there's no question. And he molded a lot of careers. He had enormous influence on Bill Parcells, probably more than anybody anywhere. The guy who influenced Parcells the most is his thinking in the NFL is Al Davis. I don't think there's any question about it. You could say the same thing probably about a lot of the guys that also were very close in the old days to Al Davis. There's a million of them. You can think about, just the things that went on with, certain techniques that he did and the way it was about power and speed. And, he had some great dominant teams. And he, was able to take guys who, may not have fit in somewhere else and, create this, kind of idea that they had, that they accepted free thinking, maybe guys who were a little bit wild, and they would bring those guys in and incorporate them into a team and allow them to kind of be that kind of team, kind of a wild bunch kind of franchise as they're known, and it's interesting. I said I've been close to in my life to two people who were very close to Al Davis. My first job was in the NFL back in the old days was on the NFL Today, and I worked for Jimmy the Greek. And on Saturday night, and I guess I can say now that, the Greek's grapevine, if you're old enough to remember it on the NFL Today, 80% of the information came from Al. So Al was really controlling the information that was going out because Greek's information came mostly from Al Davis. That was really, it was his best friend. If you see a lot of the things today, if you see a lot of features, if you go home today and watch a pregame show, or you're driving right now and you're going to watch the pregame show, or you're home right now watching on Yes, you'll see Al wearing this bracelet that says Al on it in silver and black, and it just says Al. Greek gave him that, and he always had it on. And it was a present. I was there when Greek gave it to him. So, I mean, because I worked for Greek for years when I was a kid, and, he and Al were inseparable. I used to get him on the phone all the time. So, I mean, that's going back many, many years now. But, I mean, that's how close they were. So, I mean, he has influenced the league, and he would get his message out through the Greek on a pregame show. It was, there was always, there was a lot of warring factions. The commissioner would get his word out his way. Al would get his word out his way. I mean, that's, they were playing a lot of games in those days, but it was a lot of intrigue. It was a very different league than it is now, that's for sure. Back after this. Number 5. This week, don't miss the Emmy Award-winning Inside the NFL for everything you need to know about the action in the NFL. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central, only on Showtime. Victor on Yes has a... Go ahead, Victor. You can show it out. He showed it to me during the break. He's got a picture of Al with the... there it is. Greek was very proud of... and always mentioned how he gave that bracelet to Al. And Al wore it all the time. Greek worshipped Al. Worshipped him. I was his favorite person in the world. And Al was his football guy when it came... And Greek, he did a lot of political stuff, and he did a lot of, stuff on the grapevine. And I don't think it's telling tales out of school, because there were times when I used to answer the phone where he'd be, off doing something, and I'd have to take the notes down on Saturday night. And Al was the guy who delivered most of the football stuff. Not all of it, but some of it. A great deal of it. And Senator Paul Laxalt from Nevada was the guy who gave most of the political stuff. So who was very close to Ronald Reagan. That was the guy who used to give him call up with most of that. I mean, now you're talking this 100 years ago. This is, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s when this was. So this is a long time ago. But he was very proud of giving that bracelet. And they were very, very close friends. Exceedingly. And I think to this day, Al has maintained very close relationships with, I think Jerry Jones and Al are pretty close, although I can't swear by that. But I think they are. And Bill Parcells and Al Davis have remained exceedingly close. All through these years have remained really enormously close. They always have. Another guy who revered Al Davis. And, other guys, too. Howie Long, of course, was his player. Paul McGuire remained very close to Al Davis. And, I'm sure countless others. And then you got the guys on the other side, like Mike Shanahan, who had a blood feud with him. And Marcus Allen didn't end up very well with him either. That was very ugly between he and Marcus Allen. All right, let's go through the games. Then we'll get to the 2-minute drill a little later. Seattle and the Giants.